coach, and he certainly had his team more ready to play tonight than I did. You never want to get behind whether we were 16. But we've got some growing up to do in certain positions. I've got a lot of young guys that are getting a lot of minutes, and it's my fault. I figure out how to reach them so that they understand that consistency matters. We talked about how excited Citadel was going to be to play us. It's a rivalry game. It's been played for a long, long time. And I thought we had a few guys ready and a few guys not. But it takes a full boat of 5 guys plus your bench. I give Braxton Williams a lot of credit. He really set the tone. Banks in his first 3, and then from there he felt really good. And so it spread us out defensively way too much. When a guy gets hot like that, his score starts to get away from you. Tendency is to make sure that you're pressuring, you're out on the 3-point line. It opened up driving lanes. They got to the rim. We converged too often, and left shooters who did a great job of relocating. They had their way with us on first however many minutes, 12 minutes it felt like. But we were able to sort of regroup down the stretch. I thought the zone really, really helped us change the game. At least we got some stops defensively, and I thought Christian was awesome. His presence, his ability to draw fouls and make shots around the basket. It was a tough game. I give Citadel a lot of credit. That guys were ready to play. We knew that. They played really well at South Carolina. It was a really close game with 6 minutes to go, and was here as well.
Talk about Martin and the 3 shots he made, which kind of won the game for him, basically.
It really did. It's funny because I wanted to wring his neck for the first 25 minutes he played. He was awesome defensively. He gets wrapped up in whether he's shooting well, and he's leaving so much on the table defensively. Guys are going around him. He's not contesting. He's not rebounding. Huge confidence in him as a shooter. He's got a lot of confidence in himself. He's played in some big games over the years. We need every one of those threes and the free throws to make it a 2-possession game at the end. To do that as a freshman, he's got to get consistency out of us. And consistency out of a few guys.
So Colby was dressed tonight. Is that how close are we getting now? What's kind of the situation with him?
Closer than we were. We'll probably hold him out of Northern Kentucky, but he's been fully released. We're gradually putting him back into practice. We've done some non-competitive things, some shooting, things like that during the course of practice. He'll get all sped up in terms of understanding what we're running. A lot more difficult when you're out to grasp all the things. Colby's a quick learner, and we're excited to add him. He's not going to be Superman when he comes back, but quite honestly, the 4 position for us, it hasn't been one that's been much of a threat offensively. Jackson's done a great job playing out of position and getting guys shots, but so Colby's an all-conference player, and it's just hopefully make us that much more difficult to guard and that much tougher on the defensive end with our size.
Now, after Sunday, you talked about maybe you guys are maybe turning a corner, maybe a small step back, especially there in the first half, but finding a way to win Sunday, finding a way to win again tonight, maybe kind of your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Yesterday, I left TD Arena really excited. I thought it was our best practice of the year. And I've done this long enough to where sometimes you have horrendous practice and you play your tails off the next night and just get it. But usually when you practice well and it's a big game, you're excited to play, you don't lay an egg like we did in the first 7 or 8 minutes. There was a couple of guys that really let us down with their effort to start the game. That's why we've got the hole, and we got to get that fixed. But small step back. Some young guys just not consistent enough and not understanding the importance of consistency. I don't mean production. I just mean your focus, the energy, how hard you play, and those things we're missing out of a few guys, and it's hard to function as a year into 5. You have a couple of guys off a little bit.
To that extent, what about the way that you guys were able to come back? Obviously, make it a 1-point game at half, and then come out with a win there.
Yeah, man, I think we have a veteran backcourt. I thought Jalen was terrific. He was dealing with them changing defenses. We were changing defenses. He was getting the ball to the right guys. He's the one that's finding Martin down the stretch. As we know from the Charlotte game, he wants to have the ball in his hands, but he didn't make some poor decisions at the rim. Because there were 2-3 guys on him, he's kicking it out, making the right play. That's what you want, a leader. And I think he and Connor are a stabilizing force for us. Again, we need some other guys to be a little bit more consistent in their approach and their effort. And we're getting there. Tonight wasn't a great indicator, but see.
But, yeah.
Coach, we appreciate it.
Thank you. I guess for both of you, just it wasn't as easy as you might have expected tonight, or was that kind of what you expected as far as that game goes?
We were kind of shell-shocked going into the game. That his name William or something came out, hit 5 threes, and that was tremendous for them. But they definitely came in and punched us in the mouth. We wasn't ready to play. We were definitely disappointed. In how we played at first. 10, 12 minutes, but we showed resilience. And coming back, we can't spot the team 17 points, especially the Division I local play. We definitely got to play better to start the half.
Just hitting shots, maybe getting some stops. Kind of what do you think led y'all to that comeback there, right there before half?
Definitely getting stops. I mean, that's what drives our team is defense. And credit to them, they came out ready to play, and we didn't. They were definitely the harder playing team for the first, I don't know what it was, 10 or 12 minutes. But yeah, they got that big lead. He hit a lot of big shots, and you can't come out flat, especially against a team like that who is coached very well and plays very hard.
Jalen, to make some of those in the second half there, the crowd was excited for you. Just what's that moment feel like when you kind of got it going and you got them on your side?
It feels great, but I got to give credit to my teammates. They allowed me to have the ball in my head and make them plays. And shout out to Clue, at the very end, hitting 3 threes and knocking down free throws. And I was telling him, I was like, man, your time's gonna come. He was kind of down bad a little bit because he wasn't hitting shots. But I told him, I said, hey, I'm gonna keep finding you. And at the end, we rallied. That was a great team.
Kind of just talk about Christian Reed's 14 and 10. I thought he kind of controlled the paint fully there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he can do. And, I mean, you saw it. Even against a team who's a little bit smaller like Citadel, but, I mean, he can do that against any lineup, 6'10", 6'11". I mean, he's very big, he has great hands, and when he commands the paint like that, it makes our jobs easier. So credit to him, he played very well.
They talked about y'all went to zone a little bit, and I thought that gave him that made him frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, we had to do something right with Braxton or Williams hitting all those threes. You got to mix it up a little bit, try to contain the ball better. So that was kind of getting in there.
Kind of like on Sunday against Charlotte. Obviously, y'all been in a lot of close games. Some haven't gone y'all's way. Kind of what do you think y'all could take away from these past 2 wins, kind of finding a way to win there late?
Got to come out better. Just both games came out flat, and I think that's been our problem across the board. In the previous games, we come out flat, and then we stay flat, and you end up losing. But now you see we bounce back, show a little bit more resilience. But if you just come out the gate, your job's a lot easier.
Just to win a rivalry game, to pull one out. Just how does that help the team's confidence moving forward?
It helps a lot. We're going on 2 wins now. I feel like in the last 2 weeks, as I said, in the past press conference, we've been all about each other. Prior, the last 2 games prior, before that, our energy and our toughness, wasn't there. Last 2 weeks, we definitely, kind of changed that. We're continue to ride that way.
Sweet.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.